Welcome back to another episode on our podcast, No Mute Button. In this episode, we'll be talking about the NBA draft, which happened almost a week ago, the NBA award ceremony, which happened yesterday, and some other NBA news. First, let's start with the Phoenix Suns, who had the first pick in the NBA draft.
So if you guys didn't know, they got DeAndre Ayton, probably the best center, but it could be a case between him and Mo Bamba. And DeAndre Ayton, he has that really talented offensive game, and his defense is pretty trash, honestly. His defense is comparable to Jahlil Okafor when he came in, and you know how that turned out.
I just hope he's not the next Jahlil Okafor because Devin Booker really needs someone on his team that can contribute.
Yeah, I guess, but I think that if he develops a 3-point shot, he'll be at least like Jokic, like a decent offensive game, not that good on defense, which is not bad. But if he improves the defense, he and Devin Booker can be that Kobe Shaq combo that everybody was saying they could be.
Yeah. Well, what's your input on this selection by the Suns?
It's pretty good. It's just that they're not focusing on what they need defense.
I mean, but then you think about it. Who could they have taken on that first pick? That's a good defender. Mo Bamba at first is really high. They could have taken Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley himself is just really athletic, but he isn't a very good defender.
You never know. They could.
Yeah, there's nobody in that draft that's a really good defender except for Mo.
Jaren Jackson's underrated.
Maybe Jaren Jackson.
Maybe
that's about it. Him and Jaren Jackson Jr. are the good defenders.
Maybe they could have traded down or something.
They could have gone more.
Right.
They could have gone more out of more than just the lower pick, instead of the pick.
They could have potentially gotten multiple picks.
Yeah, multiple picks. But then they already had the 16th pick. That's what they got. They traded it for Mikal Bridges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's
that Mikal Bridges trade, by the way. That was a really good trade to surround their core with a great 3.
But like I said before, that's just a stupid on the Sixers part. If you want LeBron James, you have to get a really talented scorer and a wing 3-and-D type of player. And that's Mikal Bridges, and then they gave him up for J.R. Smith, who is a very unproven player. I never even heard of him coming into the draft, and they took him instead of Mikal Bridges, which was pretty stupid.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges, he would have fit perfectly in the Sixers system.
And you know what happened, right? So his mom, Mikal Bridges' mom, works for the 76ers, and then she was super happy to see her son on the Sixers, and then they just traded him a few minutes later.
I really don't understand that trade, but for the Suns, that was a great trade. Now they have another talented wing player that can play defense and shoot the ball. So their wing defensive duo is going to be really good with Josh Jackson and Mikal Bridges, and they could clamp up about a lot of people in the league,
Okay,
do you see that Warriors comparison? That Mike Zemba saying that they will be the next Golden State Warriors. I don't think that's going to happen still.
No.
Can we talk about
maybe, but that's very they have to hope.
No, but
because Warriors play great defense.
No, but if Klay Thompson and Devin Booker have some similarities, who's this Stephen Curry? That really leadership, the leader person, the player with he's the core of that the Warriors. Who's that for the Suns? I don't really see that.
Yeah, let's move on to the second pick.
So the Sacramento Kings took Marvin Bagley with the second pick. How do you guys feel about this?
I feel like it was pretty much an obvious choice. A couple people thought they were going to take Michael Porter Jr., but I really just didn't see that happening with that horrible back injury. Marvin Bagley, he was a great prospect to pick up, and hopefully he can pair up nicely with De'Aaron Fox.
No, I thought that they could have taken Luka Doncic, but they already have a really deep wing players. They have Buddy Hield, they have Bojan Donovic.
Yeah. And Marvin Bagley plays 4, so he can dominate that position.
Yeah. But then they already have a lot of big men as well. They have Scallop this year. They have Willie Cauley-Stein. So,
but their starting lineup can be really solid. De'Aaron Fox, Bojan Bogdanovic.
I think that people were hating on the Kings. They were hating on the Kings of Vivek for trading DeMarcus Cousins, but post DeMarcus Cousins era has been pretty bright so far. Buddy Hield has turned out to be pretty solid.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think he got the right opportunity on New Orleans.
Yeah, and I think that New Orleans is one of those franchises, like you said, like the Magic, that are just horrible at developing players into the full potential. Like you see, all the Eric Gordon, all those players they got, and then those players never turned into like the star they could have been.
Yeah.
So the third pick, which was from the Atlanta Hawks, it was the original pick was Luka Doncic, but that pick was then traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Trae Young.
And future picks as well.
I think this is a sign. This is a sign that they're gonna get rid of Dennis Schroeder.
But it's also
like earlier in the summer, Dennis Schroeder unfollowed the Hawks and all of the Hawks players, and I think that he just wants out. He said a preferred destination was going to be the Indiana Pacers, but right now I don't know. I don't think that he has that much value, so I don't think the Indiana Pacers would give the Hawks a lot to get Dennis Schroeder back. So I think that ideal trade would be to the Magic for Nikola Vucevic. They need the center. The Magic need a point guard, and two Washington players can be traded pretty well.
But the
Dennis
Atlanta
Schroeder.
Hawks, this was more of a marketing move because Trae Young, he's pretty hyped up, and the Hawks, they haven't been really relevant at all. So maybe having Trae Young could give them some ticket sales, and as a business, this is a good thing for the Atlanta Hawks.
But I think that this actually though I think this was a bad trade because I think that Luka Doncic could have been the best player, even though he's European. He could have been the best player in this draft class, and then you get Trae Young, who he's one of the most overrated ESPN prospects. Like they talk about him all the time, but he scores 50 points and has 30 turnovers along with it.
So the fourth pick, which was by the Memphis Grizzlies, which they picked Jaren Jackson Jr.
I think this was a solid pick. I don't know if they could have gotten better. I think at this point they're just trying to contend for a playoff spot. They really need to sell tickets. That's why they're keeping Marc Gasol, and they would never be able to trade Mike Conley even if they wanted to. So I think this will just add to their playoff core, and who knows, maybe they'll hop back in the playoffs.
They should have gotten a. They should have gotten a more riskier player because I think they should rebuild because Marc Gasol is almost 35,
But
34.
then the thing is, no one wanted to play for Memphis.
He has a big salary, so I don't think they should go rebuild and get the best player available.
But no
Which
one
could be Michael Porter Jr.
The thing is, no one wanted to be in Memphis. Like they wouldn't give the physicals or anything to Memphis. Like not even Mo Bamba wanted to be there.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the fifth pick. And as we said, the third pick was traded for the fifth pick, Doncic, for Trae Young. So the Mavericks ended up with Doncic. And in the backcourt with Dennis Smith Jr., that could be a very talented duo.
And I like the fit because they have Dirk Nowitzki, and then now they're getting a really good European prospect again. I think that Rick Carlisle could really develop Luka Doncic to a really good player.
Yeah, and Dirk can mentor him. Yeah, sure, he's not a big man, but he can give him tips on how, because Dirk was a hard worker, so he can give him tips on how to, because both of them were
work ethics and stuff.
Yeah, both of them are low athlete players. They're not very athletic.
But they're all really talented scorers. Luka Doncic is one of the best scorers coming out of Europe ever, and he also has that Manu Ginobili-esque, acrobatic finishes, those Euro steps, those layups are pretty unstoppable.
Dirk can give him some pointers on how to
that fade away.
Because his athleticism isn't the greatest in the draft. It isn't completely horrible, but it isn't the greatest. So he has to use his other tools, and Dirk similarly had those tools.
Yeah, but I kind of I feel like teams are going to regret that they were passing on him because he's a white player, and some white players like Darko Milicic, way back then, they turned out to be busts, and they didn't want to take him. But in a few years, I think that Luka Doncic will be one of the best players in the league.
All right, yeah. Well, let's go to the sixth pick, which was held by the Magic, and they took Mo Bamba. Will, what's your input on this?
Get out of there, Mo Bamba. You're gonna die. You're not gonna develop. Just get out of there as soon as you can. That's it.
Yeah, Mo Bamba.
But like the Magic, they've been known to have a really like they've been known to develop the big men well. You've seen Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, so I think Mo Bamba could fit that lineage of really good big men and center.
Yeah, I see a lot of Dwight Howard in Mo Bamba, a dominant defensive player who can. And the thing about
But you also have to remember he's much better offensively. He's much better offensively.
He doesn't only catch lobs. He can shoot the ball. So he can actually be quite a threat on both ends of defensive on offensive and defense. So who knows? He can probably.
Yeah, when he was with Texas, he shot 3 threes a game, and that's a really high number for a big man. And I think that if they can facilitate, they can use him as the main player, and then play Aaron Gordon down low. That could be a really good duo. So I think that because how weak the East is, it could make the playoffs pretty soon.
Yeah, Mo Bamba, great athlete, faster 3/4 court sprint than John Wall and Westbrook, two of the fastest players in the league besides probably Ish Smith. And he has the longest reach in NBA history, which is amazing.
Doesn't Rudy Gobert have the highest reach though? Doesn't he have like 8'1" wingspan or something?
I think Mo Bamba has 8'3". I'm not sure.
He does? Okay.
I just know it was some. He has like the longest in NBA history. So that's a great pick by the Magic. Maybe they should have taken a point guard, but the point guards in this
I think that you would rather take him than Colin Sexton, because Colin Sexton I think has the highest bust potential in this whole draft. Colin Sexton, he's a good player, but his ceiling isn't just isn't that high. Like the scouts, the analysts, at best he was going to be Eric Bledsoe. And Eric Bledsoe is a really good defender, but just getting smoked by Terry Rozier in the playoffs. So I think that ceiling really isn't that high for a top 10 player.
Yeah, I do think they got a very good pick out of what, especially since Trae Young was taken already. They probably would have taken Trae Young if he slid down to the 6th pick, but since he didn't, they got a great pick in Mo Bamba.
And by the way, guys, what draft pick are we going to do this to? Like, just the lottery or all 30 picks or what?
Just the lottery, of course.
We should also do like the best draft skills, like which teams, the winners and losers, right?
Yeah. All right. The 7th pick held by
the Chicago Bulls.
Of course.
They pick Wendell Carter Jr.
I think that was a really solid pick. They could have gotten Mo Bamba, but I
think they should have. No, I personally think they should have taken Michael Porter Jr. at 7.
Many people have thought that, but I don't know if the back injury was worth it, because they already have Levine, who just tore his ACL, and I don't think they should bring in another player who has the potential to become just a role player because of injuries has done to him.
But honestly, I think Wendell Carter Jr. is also kind of like Colin Sexton. His ceiling just isn't that high.
He was compared to Carlos Boozer. I don't like that comparison. I think he can do more than Carlos Boozer.
I think a good comparison is Al Horford, though. A good passer, a pretty good defender, a solid rebounder.
Yeah, and that's what the Bulls really need. They have Markkanen to stretch the floor, so they really just need a center who can do what a center does, And
I think they should have taken Kevin Knox instead of Wendell Carter, because both of them are power forwards, but I think Kevin Knox is a better finisher around the rim, and they need more offense. The Bulls were pretty good defensively with Chris Dunn, but offensively they were struggling.
But even though they didn't take who many people thought they should have, their core is still pretty solid. Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen.
But do you agree they were one of the losers of this stuff? Do you agree they were still one of the losers of this whole draft, though? I think that they just didn't get that great of a player.
I don't think it's necessarily their fault that Mo Bamba didn't slide down to 7 and the Magic took him. I think they should have tried to trade up, though. That's my opinion. They
trade up for who, though?
Trade up for Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba?
Yeah. Because Mo Bamba,
I think Mo Bamba is
perfect.
Mo Bamba is a good fit in Orlando. I think because they need a even though they have Vucevic, they have a good They need a good center. Like they just need a really good player. I think Mo Bamba fits there pretty well.
Yeah, but if the Bulls had the chance, I think they should have taken Mo Bamba.
But you realize like this year draft picks are really hard to trade for. Like you had to give up a lot to get a good draft pick.
All right, let's move to the 8th pick. Held by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, you should say some more stuff about this because big task.
I've watched a lot of scouting videos about Colin Sexton. You know,
what's your conclusion?
He's a good player. He just needs to work on his stroke, 3-point stroke. He won't really kill out from the perimeter, but if he's spot on, like he'll kill you, but like anything else, like he won't be doing anything.
I think
they should have taken Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker's comparison with J.R. Smith, and the Cavs really love J.R. Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they really love J.R. Smith.
But no one wanted the floating hat. But
the thing with Colin Sexton is his ceiling may be Eric Bledsoe, but I think a fair comparison would be Patrick Beverley, perhaps.
I mean, he's a good defender, but off ball.
Yeah. I'm saying that's a fair comparison for now because Colin Sexton, he can be pretty good.
Don't underrate Patrick Beverley because Patrick Beverley is one of the best defenders in the NBA. So I don't think that Colin Sexton will ever reach to that level.
But Colin Sexton,
he could be a Mike Conley level defender, but he's not going to be the best defender for the point guard.
No, that's true.
No, his defense, like on ball, is pretty good, but like usually off ball when like his man is like he doesn't have the ball, he usually like disengages with his man and leaves him open for threes or any other shots, and that might kill Colin Sexton.
But with this pick, I really do think, no offense, Cavs took an L.
I mean, they had nothing.
I mean, they couldn't really have gotten anybody else though, because LeBron's looking.
I think Michael Porter Jr.
I mean, that's like a high risk.
But then if they take Michael Porter Jr., LeBron's for sure gone, even though he's pretty.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they should try to keep LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, but sources say that he's probably
going to. If you have a chance to sign LeBron, you should try to keep him because, like, LeBron's still.
Yeah, but
I think he's. I think he's like really close.
I think he's gonna go to LA. He has room to work with, assets.
But don't you want him in LA though?
Yeah, I guess, but I'm also a realist.
Yeah. But I think that there's still some other choices for him though. Like, if he wants to, I think that there's a chance for him to stay another year and then like sign somewhere else with like.
We're going a bit off topic here.
Yeah.
Let's go to the 9th pick.
The 9th.
Who has the 9th pick?
The Knicks. Who picked
Kevin Knox? They picked Kevin Knox, Kentucky prospect.
Isn't he a power forward?
Small forward.
He can play small forward as well.
No, but he's a primary.
Because if he was just a power forward, I would have been pretty mad because they have Porzingis, obviously.
But Porzingis is just coming off an injury, so like I think that he could be a good replacement for half a season.
Kevin Knox has a solid 3-pointer. Am I correct?
He's a good shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. He's supposed to be a 3-and-D guy, I think. I haven't really heard much about him, other than that he can be a pretty solid contributor to Porzingis and Frank Ntilikina. I really don't think like he hasn't gotten as much attention. Yeah, there. Like many people think of him as a bust. Really mad when they passed up on Dennis Smith Jr. And yeah, maybe Dennis Smith Jr. could be a better player in the future. But
you say Patrick Beverley. I think Frank Ntilikina is a good comparison to Patrick Beverley. Both good defenders. They're not the best offensive players, but they also they're good hustle players, and they can be a solid point guard for your team.
And Ntilikina, he really impressed me this season with his vision. His vision is very solid, and I think he could be a great playmaker in this league.
But honestly, though, did you ever watch one Knicks game? Yes, like the whole last year, because I didn't.
I mean, I watched some highlights, but no. Uh, let's move to the 10th pick. I believe that was the Mikal Bridges
76ers?
pick. Yeah, that was Mikal Bridges pick.
Yeah. So first of all, very stupid move by the Sixers, like trading a really good player for Zaire Smith, who's unproven.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're thinking here. If their lineup literally could have been Ben Simmons, Mikal Bridges, LeBron James, Dario Saric, and Joel Embiid. That right there is a super team. Even if most of the players there are young, that's a super team.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think that they should start JJ Redick just for next season, and after JJ Redick retires, and then they can start Mikal.
I mean, maybe I over exaggerate that. Maybe it isn't a super team, but like it would be a super team if like we skipped 3 years ahead.
But if we skip 3 years ahead, then LeBron won't be as good as he is right now.
Yeah, but still, he's LeBron.
How do you think? Like, do you think the Suns, like Zaire Smith, is an okay player? I'm not. Do you think the Sixers got an okay player in Zaire Smith?
Yeah, he could be an okay player, but nothing more than a role player at most because they already have.
No, but did you hear like the Brett Brown said that Zaire Smith is going to be used in a trade? So I wonder what that trade is going to be. Could it be for Kawhi Leonard? Could it be? I mean, I don't want him as a Spurs fan. I really don't want Zaire Smith, but I mean, it could be for some really good player in the future. So if that's the case, then I think that was a good trade.
Yeah, I guess.
But they also got a draft pick. So yeah.
The 11th pick that was held by
the Hornets. They traded it to the Clippers to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Unbelievable.
That's a good. I mean, that's not bad. I think Shai Gilgeous was he was on the top 2 point guards for the draft board, so that was okay.
But come on, how has Michael Porter Jr. still not been taken at the 11th pick?
I mean, it's the Clippers. Like, they're cursed. They never take the good player. So,
like, this is unbelievable. Come on.
I mean, I think the Hornets were really set on Miles Bridges because Miles Bridges, I think that like Michael Jordan just really likes that defending player, and Michael Porter Jr. Even though he's athletic, he's not the best defender.
All right, 12th pick, wasn't that the Clippers? Right?
Yeah, that was the Clippers. They took that was a trade, right? They swapped picks, so then the Hornets got they got Miles Bridges. I like Miles Bridges. He was one of my favorite college players throughout the season, and I think that he has a pretty high ceiling, but he also has some bust potential because he's in a consistent shooter. Like, he can make buckets, but like in clutch moments he disappears.
Yeah, going down to this last to the 13th pick, that was also the Clippers.
Jerome, I think it's Jerome Wallace or something.
Yeah, that was the Clippers, right? I believe.
Jerome Robinson.
Yeah, Jerome Robinson.
Jerome Robinson. Okay.
Since when?
What's up?
Have I ever heard? Have any of you ever heard of this man? Because I certainly haven't.
No one.
Yeah, he was the 43rd projected player, and the Clippers took him at 13th, in front of Michael Porter Jr.
Yep, just great job, Clippers. I'm sorry, LeBron ain't coming.
I thought Jerry West was something.
Was there any doubt though in the first place?
I mean, Anthony Anderson was hoping yesterday.
Yeah, no, it was just a joke. You know, the joke was that his hairline's going back.
Yeah.
But Anthony Anderson, I don't know what you're doing. Stay on Blackish. Don't go to the NBA award show because honestly, I'd rather have Drake. That's the only W Drake took this whole year.
All right, the 14th pick. Yeah. The Nuggets.
So finally, the Nuggets get a really good player, Michael Porter Jr.
This is potentially the biggest steal in the last couple drafts.
Yeah, honestly though, I think now the Nuggets would rather miss the playoffs and get Michael Porter Jr. than get bounced by the Rockies in the first round.
Yeah, definitely. This was a great way to end their to start their off
dynasty, sort of their mini dynasty.
Yeah,
because they have a really good team.
Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr. might not play, but if we insert him into the lineup, Michael Porter Jr.,
Paul
Millsap, and Nikola Jokic. That team is young. It has veteran leadership, all-star veteran leadership, and it could be one of the.
But overall, though, the Nuggets team, I watched a few Nuggets games throughout the season, and their problem is still coaching. Mike Malone's a good coach, but like I feel like he doesn't make the right adjustments in the key moments. Like in that final game against the Timberwolves, he started going small and not playing Jokic as much, and that costed them the game. That final game against the Timberwolves for the 8th seed.
Yeah. But still, they have a potential
dynasty coming.
Yeah, on their hands. So you never know. All right, let's
talk about the winners and losers about this draft. I think the biggest steal of this draft is still Robert Williams, 27 by the Boston Celtics. Danny Ainge is a god. We should all pray to him for good luck because Danny Ainge somehow got the 14th and the third best power forward in this whole draft at 27. So applaud to you, Danny Ainge.
For again showing us your magic, rebuilding this Celtics team and missing the playoffs for only 2 seasons. And
Spurs also got a really good player, Lonnie Walker at 18th, even though he looks like the next coming of Alfred Payton with that haircut.
Oh yeah, I saw some
pictures. His hat was actually floating up, like he has telekinesis powers right there. But honestly, though, if Kawhi's leaving, that's a solid pick. He's a good guard, shooting guard, small forward, and he could be a good bench player. And then next year, Greg Popovich will somehow turn him into the next Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Well, another winner, of course, the Phoenix Suns I have on the winners list, and the Denver Nuggets.
How did the Suns win?
The trade with the Sixers, obviously.
Well, no, but that trade, because they got Mikal, right? Yeah. I thought they got J.R. Smith. Wait, yeah.
That's self-explanatory. And same thing with the Nuggets pick. That's self-explanatory.
I think that the Magic are a winner, though. They got a pretty good player, I think. They got a really solid player at 6.
Not a really solid player, a potential superstar.
Yeah.
A great
they got for what their pick was, they probably got the best center. So, congrats to the Magic for actually winning something.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. The losers, obviously, the Sixers. I'm sorry.
I feel like the Bulls, if they took Michael Porter, it would be a win.
Yeah,
but
sort of the Bulls. The Clippers. The hell were you doing with Jerome Robinson?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
There's some other teams I can't.
The Hornets.
The Hornets. Miles Bridges is not bad, so I don't feel that bad for them. And they got they could have taken they could have taken Miles Bridges at 11, but instead they traded Shaq Georges down, so they could get another pick. So I think that they won that trade.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. That's my bad. Finally, the moves the Hornets actually did right.
And also the Lakers for not taking LiAngelo Ball.
Oh my god. We want Gallows. Alright, let's move to the NBA award ceremony, which happened yesterday. We will do MVP last for obvious reasons.
LeBron got snubbed.
We'll go in order. I believe the first
let's just start with MVP because, Will wants to say something about, LeBron James getting snubbed.
Okay, well, just let it all out.
Okay, even though James Harden deserved the MVP, LeBron got snubbed. That's all I have to say.
And all
elaborate a little
LeBron
bit.
James deserved the MVP. First of all, voters fatigue. He's won 4 MVPs. Second of all, Harden had a better statistical season, and his team had more
not
wins.
true.
And that just shows to us, what does the MVP award really mean? It doesn't just mean the most valuable player to a given team. It means the most valuable player to the league.
Yesterday's MVP showed the Thunder got screwed up pretty hard.
Yeah.
They could have gotten 3 MVPs and then let it, I think they wanted Kendrick Perkins instead of James Harden. Let's just let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah.
Kendrick freaking Perkins. You traded a Shaq and a full MVP for a real MVP. You could have traded in a Shaq and a full MVP for a real MVP, but sometimes luck is just not your way.
They could have gotten 4 MVPs. Can't forget James Harden, 2-time MVP.
Oh yeah, Shaq and a full.
Yep. But overall, Harden definitely deserved it, in my opinion, over LeBron. Like LeBron,
these awards were actually kind of bullshit. Like there was a bunch of awards I think that could have gone somewhere else. Quinn Snyder or Brad Stevens for Coach of the Year instead of Dwayne Casey.
Yeah,
Dwayne Casey, he's a good coach and all, but
he's not a great coach.
He's an okay coach, right? He's a solid coach. But
there's a difference. I heard someone say there's a difference between a good coach and a great coach. That's the difference between Brad Stevens and Dwayne Casey. Yeah, good coaches like Dwayne Casey, they have a game plan before the game. They know what they're gonna do. But great coaches, when things aren't going their way, they make in-game adjustments.
No, great coaches can stop LeBron James. That's basically the meaning of a great coach.
Oh yeah.
So basically, the three coaches that can stop LeBron. 3 coaches that can stop LeBron James is Steve Kerr, Brad Stevens, and Greg Popovich.
And they can't even stop them. They just take them to a lot of games.
And you can't forget Tyronn Lue.
Oh,
a great coach, right?
Yeah, of course.
I read this the other day, as in 6 hours ago, but it's about LeBron James. I'm sorry, I gotta let it out. What? I can't just keep it in.
Okay, you say it. Don't
After
hesitate.
having one of the greatest individual seasons in NBA history with no rest games, leading the league in minutes, and putting up the best stats he ever has at age 33, LeBron James will be rewarded with absolutely nothing. They hand the MVP to the man that couldn't lead his team to the finals when CP went out, and the super team in California with 4 All-Stars and a biased whistle will likely end the season the next game.
Wait a minute.
Or the snake holding the finals MVP trophy.
Not the playoffs. Just throw that article out right now. Throw it out.
We're about to kick you off the podcast for what?
But what this is saying is that what James Harden couldn't do anything after or at all. LeBron James,
he carried the Rockets for 7 games without Chris Paul. I think that's something. Isn't that something?
I mean, the Rockets had a chance of going into the finals when Iggy was out, right? What did they do?
Iguodala is not that important, okay?
Okay, so what happened?
He's a good defender, but he's not that important for the Warriors.
For the Rocket series, at least. Against the Cavs, he's important, but for the Rocket series, he wasn't extremely important.
Yeah.
But
either way, he was
MVP
still
is
out.
a regular season award. It isn't a postseason award. In the regular season, the man had a 60-point triple-double. There's no way you can't.
Against the Suns.
Yeah, but, there's some LeBron fans right there that, they would write him all day, so.
Fans need to actually understand what MVP means.
Yeah, it should be LeBron.
It actually meant most valuable player to a team, then it would be LeBron every year. But no, that's not what it means. It means the most valuable player to the league.
Yeah, that still is LeBron James.
I think that, but then you also have to consider that James Harden was a stat pattern throughout the season. But Russell Westbrook was a stat pattern last season, and he got the MVP. So
he was a stat pattern this season too.
Yeah, and he was a first seed, so there's really no argument here that you can truly say that would change my mind.
I mean, if you remove James Harden out, probably still a playoff team with Chris Paul and the supporting cast around him.
I don't think that's true. I think they would make it to the playoffs. The Nuggets are definitely better. The Nuggets are definitely better when you take James Harden off the Rockets.
Yeah, that's true.
But either way, they still make the playoffs. The Nuggets will be the Timberwolves. I don't think.
Think about it. The Clippers barely made it to the playoffs with both Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, 2 years ago.
That was injuries. You gotta think about the injuries too.
So, Shea, how do you feel about Kevin Durant winning the Finals MVP over Stephen Curry? I feel like it's deserving.
I think it's deserving, but I don't know. Something just feels fishy. I do think Steph Curry should have gotten it.
I mean,
Even
the
though
only
it's
reason,
horrendous.
But game three, like,
it was obvious.
but Kevin Durant, that 3-pointer over LeBron, like, that just sealed his legacy. Like, he just made
it wasn't
2
over
threes,
LeBron this
same
time
type
though.
of play against LeBron James, the so-called GOAT. Like 2
It
years in
wasn't
a row.
against
Like,
LeBron James though this year. That was the thing. It was against JR and like another guard.
no, but like it was LeBron who let him off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then Kevin Durant just drained that
Oh
3.
yeah.
So it's still in the end LeBron's poor defense that cost the Cavs game because they were winning, right? They were like winning by a few points, and then the Warriors came back.
I mean, it
So,
was the lack of offense from the Cavs. Like honestly.
But honestly, though, I think that LeBron won't go to the Lakers just because if he goes to the Lakers, he's not gonna have the finals record, so he's gonna stay in the East.
Yeah.
LeBron really cares about his finals, like
I mean,
just making it. He doesn't care about winning the finals; just cares about making the finals.
But like he would have the assets in LA to trade Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo, Josh Hart.
But honestly, though, like you heard, like the recent news reports, the Spurs aren't willing to trade Kawhi to the Lakers. Paul George might not go to the Lakers. Like all these news reports coming out, and I think that if that happens, LeBron just being a one man show in LA won't really like translate to anything. So he would rather stay in the East.
All right, let's talk about the Rookie of the Year. Snub. I'm sorry.
Donovan Mitchell.
Ben Simmons definitely deserved it, but not over Donovan Mitchell. That's a snub.
Yeah, the awards yesterday were just pretty bad. Like overall, like I feel like Anthony Davis deserved it more than Rudy Gobert, but somehow Rudy Gobert won. I don't know how. What else?
I think that for one season, they finally got this award wrong, the Rookie of the Year voting.
No,
Donovan
but like
Mitchell had a better season.
yeah.
He led his team. Ben Simmons was not the leader of his team. Donovan Mitchell was the leader of his team as a rookie and led his team to the 5th seed. I
think that the playoffs really proved which the rookies are the best. The best rookies in this year, I think number 1, Donovan Mitchell, number 2, Jason Tatum, and number 3, Ben Simmons. Because Ben Simmons choked against the Miami Heat, not the Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics. 1 point, I can do better.
I mean,
1 point.
I thought playoffs didn't matter.
He couldn't make a layup against the Boston Celtics. Like that's actually embarrassing.
But the thing is, you
Jason
said
Tatum
playoffs don't
scored 30
matter.
points against the Philadelphia 76ers. Like that shows the difference between like a really good rookie and just a rookie that has good stats in the regular season, but doesn't really translate too much in the playoffs.
But the playoffs
and I think
don't
that Ben Simmons is going to be a good player, but who knows? Kardashian curse might come up to him.
Okay, so it applies to Ben Simmons, but not LeBron James. About how
what?
No, or how Ben Simmons underperformed in the playoffs, and then how it's like you're putting that as a point as like a reason why he didn't deserve MVP. Rookie of the Year over Donovan Mitchell.
That's not the point. I'm saying that Donovan Mitchell actually led his team, and the playoffs really truly showed that. Like, Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum are leaders, while Ben Simmons is not a leader. That's all we're trying to say.
Now, Defensive Player of the Year. Okay,
yeah.
I think Rudy Gobert should have won it. That's just.
I think Anthony Davis should have won it. Honestly, Anthony Davis, he had his best defensive season of as of right since this is his best defensive season, and his team also did better. His team was better than the Jazz, right? Defensively and stuff.
Nope.
No, the Jazz were number 1, right?
The Jazz were number 2 behind the Celtics. And you know why they're number 2? Because Gobert missed.
And also you have to remember Rudy Gobert was injured for half the season.
Not half the season.
like at least 30 games. He was injured for a lot of the season.
20,
That's
about
what Donovan
around
Mitchell showed up.
25.
Yeah, but
Because,
think about this. You need to watch a Jazz game to truly understand Rudy's impact on their defense. When he's not on the court,
I think
they
it's close. I think it's
they
close
fall to the
between
fourth
Gobert and Anthony Davis.
defense. They fall to the fourth.
I think it's close between Rudy Gobert and Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis carried that Pelicans defense after DeMarcus Cousins was gone.
Drew Holiday, the all-defensive first-team point guard, who shut down Damian Lillard.
Then you can also, if you say Drew Holiday, I can make a case for Ricky Rubio, who's also one of the best defenders for a point guard. Like he was actually locking up players.
He didn't make an all-defensive team.
I said all defensive teams don't really matter because Avery Bradley didn't make it 2 years ago, and he's one of the best defenders for shooting guards. So you can't really say that. Like just because someone made an all-defensive team doesn't mean they're a really good defender. Robert freaking Covington made it to the first team.
Okay, that's true. But come on, Gobert's defensive impact is unreal.
Yeah, I know his defensive impact is really good, but I think that Anthony Davis just for this season deserved it more. Like last season, I think
I can expect that.
Last season, I think Rudy Gobert deserved it more than somebody.
Hey,
somebody, you know.
Hell no. Draymond led the league in steals as a power forward.
Somebody. I'm not gonna say any names.
Forward.
Yeah, he won it over Kawhi Leonard, who's a very good defender, even though he's going to lead the Spurs, and then also someone else named Rudy Gobert. So, yeah, I'll just put it right there.
You can say whatever. Okay, let's go to Sixth Man of the Year. Obviously, very deserving.
Lou Williams, yeah.
Almost an all-star.
50-something points. 50-something points against the Warriors as a bench player.
50.
Oh, 60?
Yeah. But I think that next year they should actually use minutes as your 6-man standing instead of being a 6-man, because these people are playing 30 minutes and they're being considered a 6-man. I think a 6-man can't play more than 24, 23 minutes a game.
Yeah, that's a fair argument too. That's why many people think Eric Gordon should have won it.
Yeah, because I feel like
Eric Gordon plays a lot of minutes for the Rockets.
Yeah, but I think that
if he's a top 4 player on the Rockets. You have Harden, Chris Paul, and Capella, then him.
Yeah, I think that you just can't play that many minutes if you want to be considered for a 6-man, because the purpose of the award is to be the best player, not playing that many minutes, but still contributing a lot to their team. Yeah. If you want to make it, anybody can win it, just make it a best non-star player, because that's basically what the award is. If that's what you want to say.
Let's move to MIP, Most Improved Player, and obviously
Victor Oladipo. That was no competition. I feel like Most Improved Player is the most obvious awards out of all of them. Last Giannis, the year before that CJ McCollum, the year before.
By the way, can I just say, CJ McCollum won that one by landslide. He improved his scoring by 14 points.
Yeah, and who was that before? 2015? Was that? That wasn't Jimmy. Yeah, that was Jimmy Butler.
Oh, I thought that was Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Butler. And then 2014 was Paul George. No, Paul George was the year before that.
Paul George.
Goran Dragic. It was Goran Dragic.
Okay.
Yeah, but Paul George also improved a lot, hell a lot. That one season.
Yeah.
So I think Most Improved is definitely the most accurate out of all of them. Those players actually ascended their level of play. Unlike some of the other awards, like the 2017 Defensive Player of the Year, which was kind of a snub, Rudy Gobert and Kawhi. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay. Will is obviously preoccupied at the moment. So let's just, since we're done with the awards, let's move on to some other NBA news. First thing and foremost, Kawhi.
Austin traded for Marcus Gortat. This proves that Doc Rivers actually doesn't care about his son anymore. He's found an hosed in LA and doesn't care about his son anymore.
Okay, remind me who the center of the Wizards is going to be now.
Jan Mahimi.
Yeah, okay. $18 million looking at.
I think the Wizards might get a good center in in free agency though, because they have besides John Mahimi and John Wall and Bradley Beal, they don't really have that many big contracts.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna get Cousins. That's a pretty deadly duo or trio. But then again, Austin Rivers has a shitty contract as well. He's getting paid $15 million.
All right, let's talk about Kawhi. Jason, you're the Spurs fan here.
Screw Kawhi.
Oh.
I think that Kawhi is also Kawhi gone. I don't really want Kawhi anymore. Kawhi, he handled this whole situation pretty bad. So he first of all he's you know how much money he's getting paid, Shion and Will? Like guess how much money he's getting paid?
25.